Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. It is Thursday, October 27th, 2022, and I'm so glad that you are here with me. If you are here with me or if you're watching this later, we're going to have some fun tonight, do some coding, and maybe learn something new about ourselves. Maybe not. Maybe we won't learn anything. I am cracking open Blackberry Bubbly right now. Don't judge. And then we're going to get the coding started. Let's go ahead and switch over with that. Hello in chat, Hitchum. What's up? Welcome. Let's switch over to this. What is this website? This website is called Kaggle. I spent a good bit of time on it. If you're trying to learn data science, you should too. I'm not paid to say that. I'm just a fan of it. They're really good people over there. They make a great product. So we're going to actually go over to my data sets and check out this archive that I made. So we started working on this a while ago. Whoa, we have someone from Egypt watching. Welcome from Egypt. Hope you're doing well. Let's get my headphones up. Let me know if you can hear everything okay too. Hopefully everything sounds okay. So the plan tonight is maybe a short stream where we create a notebook for this data set. So what this data set is, let's actually load up my terminal and let's remember what this data set is. I like this music, by the way. I hope it's not copyright. Watch them take down my video because it says copyright, even though it says it's not copyright. Let's turn the volume down just in case. Always got to worry about that. Okay, so hit the upvote and like Jason. Yes, you're right. We got someone from Nigeria. Welcome from Nigeria. All over the world. We are a global phenomenon here over at Medallion Data Science, aka Rob, streaming coding at night. We are going to go into my repos directory. Where'd my music go? Oh, it's just a different song. Okay, so we're going to go into my repos and we're going to go into Conda Activate Kaggle 2. And then we're going to, should we go into Twitch stream projects? No, it was in chess. Yeah, let's just start up a Jupyter. Let's start up, no, let's do chess cheating analysis. This was a while ago. And then we're going to open up Jupyter Lab in here. And of course, it's going to open a window way over there where I don't want it. And I'm going to pull it over here so we can all see it together. Okay, so going into notebooks, we're going to remember how I actually pulled all this game stuff down. So we took this function that I found online. We took a function that I found online to download all of the top 50 players chess.com playing history. And now we're going to do some exploration of those. So it's the top 50 blitz players as of the date that I pulled them. So the top 50 could have changed since then. Sorry if you're like number 50 right now and you were, 51 when I pulled it. You're not in the list. But that's just a list of data that we're starting with. So I took all of their games, downloaded them, and then we ran this function that I created a while ago, pgn to data frame, which takes pgn files, which are chess game history, and converts them into a pandas data frame with all the metadata right there for us to analyze. Now, that actually is what this data set is. That is what this is. That's confusing for me to say, but this data set, is it public? It is public. It has these top 50 chess players archive of their games with the Parquet version. I'm going to paste this here. What time zone am I in? I am in EST, Eastern Standard Times. Or I'm not sure. It changes when the time zone changes, but I'm in Eastern time. Whatever that is. What time zone are you in, Xcode? Oh, my dad is stronger than my uncle. Hey, man, I remember your username. It's EDT now. Yeah, I always forget. So it's EDT. Just quick sidebar here. Do you guys know that here in the United States, our government voted to get rid of daylight savings time? I'm excited for that to be over. Hey, look, Jesse PK. Thank you so much for the subscription. Subscribed with Prime. That's to tell you all, if you're watching on Twitch, which you should be right now, I am, if you have a Prime account, like with Amazon, for free, you can subscribe to my channel. And subscribing on Twitch is different than on YouTube. It's like usually costs money, but Amazon will give you one for free. So why not use it? If you're gonna have it, might as well use it. So whenever that happens, I spin the wheel, and the wheel tells me something random I have to do. Thank you, Jesse. Let me know in the chat how you found the channel and what led you to want to follow or subscribe. Oh, scream Kevin as loud as I can. This wakes up my wife and kids when they're asleep. All right, here we go. Kevin! All right, if someone comes down soon and says, "What's going on down there?" It's because I screamed that as loud as I can. All right, let's go into the data again. All right, so I pasted the actual data to you all. You can go there and upvote this if you want. You can check it out yourself. We could go here and create an exploration notebook in Kaggle, or I could just do it locally and upload it. Let's stick locally today. I say we do it that. Shall we? I just need to remember how I have my data set up. Let's just start from scratch. Let's pretend like I haven't looked at this data before. Hey, Chris Jasko, welcome. Thanks for subscribing. Got to spin the wheel for you. Let me know how you found the channel. Hello. Nava, welcome to the chat. Oh, I almost had to scream Kevin again, but instead I do a 10-second hamstring stretch. This gets me nice and ready for coding. You gotta stretch before coding. It's very important. Not really. I lost my chair. All right, is that 10 seconds? That's about 10 seconds. Thanks so much for subscribing. Criso. All right. So we're going to call this chess.com EDA for exploratory data analysis. And we're going to do some data analysis. Let's make this a little bit bigger for you all. Exploring the data set we'll put it here. Hey, Xcode, thank you for gifting 1 sub. Thank you. That's so nice of you. You gifted a sub. Am I gonna just be spinning this all night? Maybe if we get a train or something. We've got a hype train going. 10-second hamstring stretch again. All right, so what we're going to do while I'm doing this, I'm going to talk about what we're going to analyze. So we have 50 players. We can focus in on a specific player, or we can just like look at them all. We want to see maybe some streaks that they've had of like when they've won a bunch of games in a row, when they've lost some in the row. And initially we were looking at this to see if we could identify chess cheaters, but it kind of devolved into just scraping the data. Hey, Mr. Gabriel Blins, hope you're doing well. So let's go ahead and import pandas as PD. Import NumPy as NP. Should we switch those around? Would that be cool? Import pandas as NP today? No, let's import matplotlib. And let's also import chess, which is the Python chess module that lets us read in the game positions and all that stuff. All right, so let's read in the Parquet file. Now, I think I put this in like a chess.com folder. Yeah. Let's import glob. This glob will let us just list out everything in this folder. Start up Parquet. So the way I organized this folder was I made a Parquet file with the data frame format of all that player's history, and then for the year that that player's data. Some of them only played in certain years, so we have to keep that in mind. Well, is this too big just to combine? Do I remember why? I did it this way? No, I don't remember why. So let's go into the directory. Actually, let's go into the data chess.com and let's remember why. So each of these is just a few megabytes. Okay, so it really depends on the player. Let's see. Another cool project would be to make the data scraping pipeline into something that's automated like every month or every week on Kaggle, and then it would update this data set, because right now it's kind of static. But we're gonna grep on Daniel, because I know that guy plays a lot. He's a Twitch streamer too. So even his biggest game is like 9.3 megabytes. Why did I split all these up? All right, so one thing to keep in mind is there could be, and there probably are, situations where players play against each other. So in theory, I could have duplicates for those games. Players in the top 50 would play against each other. So just to explain what I'm talking about, let's look at this first one. Now let's pick two players we know who played each other. So let's do Daniel, Parquets, Panquets. I can't spell. Parquets. Like creating cron job. What are we talking about? Oh yeah. Just like creating Keenan. So that's a cool thing about what Kaggle released recently is it's basically like running a cron job in Kaggle on their compute for free. But if you look at some of my data sets, if you do exclamation point and Kaggle, I'm not sure if it'll work in. Then you can look at some of my data sets, like this Zillow home value index actually runs a script every month and updates. I also have one that updates daily, like this Mr. Beast YouTube stats. I wrote the script that feeds this in. Look, it updated an hour ago. I'm not sure where the script is that loads this in. Yeah, here it is. So basically this runs every day. This one has run 204 times. And yeah, it consistently goes and pulls Kaggle stuff. So in theory, well, my point is I could just have this chess script. Probably the best way to have done it is to have the script run and update this data set daily or weekly. Okay, so let's just go into everyone's 2022, actually. That would be an easier way to look at this. So now we're only looking at the last year of games, and we're going to pull these in. Read Parquet. So this will read in all of the Parquet files, and then we'll concatenate them together. Oh, my exclamation kaggle did not work. Let's do this on Twitch. Crip, thank you for saying it's dope to watch this as a sophomore. I'm glad you find this enjoyable. All right, there's the link to my Kaggle profile if you want to see some of the other data sets I made that run daily. Okay, I should make this. All right, data frame 2022. So what my point I was trying to make is I basically went through for each of a given player, like Hikaru's games, and I pulled them in and saved them into the Hikaru Parquet file. Then I also went in for all the other players and pulled in their games. But if they play each other and I concatenate all these together, then we'll have duplicates. But we sort of need those duplicates in order to do aggregations by the player. So I pulled in the game, but then I also marked if the player won or lost. And all of this is relative to the player that I cared about when I pulled their games. So let's try to find some duplicates. We're going to go into this mainline moves column, which by the way has all the game data. So like this is an actual game that we could take chess, board. We could make a chess board. And then we could load in the FEN. I'm remembering I need to load in this PNG, PGN a certain way, which we won't do now. But let's just take this mainline moves and let's do value counts and see if we have a bunch of games that are the same. Okay, so this first game that appears 88 times is just E4 and then no other move. So this is like an abandoned game after one move. That's not what we're looking for. It's these ones. Like this game appears twice. Another way we could do this is duplicated. This will put a true. This will give us an array with a true value if that row is duplicated. But the thing is, I don't think any of them will be duplicated. Oh wait, some of them are duplicated completely. All right, so let's look at that. Anish Giri. We also have to expand our display.max columns. Let's not do the chessboard thing yet. Although I can show you that we can load it up like this. If we want to load at any point, any game, we can load it like that. We can also load in. Hey, Muggaton, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for subscribing. Let's spin the wheel for you. If I don't hear the spin noise, you guys need to yell at me in chat. What did someone else say? There's a long chat. Hey friend, do you plan to do live streams where you model data using Bayesian, k-nearest or regression models? Would be cool to see you approach that topic. I have to yell Kevin. Hold on a second. Kevin! All right. I have modeled on stream. I can do modeling on stream. JJ back from NYC. Junjai Go. Welcome back. So why I am surprised that we have duplicates is because there is this player win-loss column which for when we run it for player A should be a win and B would be a draw. Oh, but the draw, would be a loss. But there's also a draw. ZYZ, thank you for subscribing. We got too many subscribers tonight. I'm complaining about it. I shouldn't play a sweet bass lick. Okay. Super fast. I really need to make sure, I need to change all my things that I do as to not be so intrusive into the stream, but I appreciate it. Thanks, ZYZ. No, it was totally worth it. It was totally worth it. So back to this. I'm confused because, see, I guess there could be draws where this would be the same. And also the player ELO should change. That's a little strange. Why are there, maybe I just accidentally pulled in duplicates. So we can just drop duplicates, reset the index, and make this our new data frame. Let's just power through this, not get too worried about it. All right, put this up here. And then we're gonna take data frame 2022, and we're gonna look at duplicates with the subset of black, white player's name, and then, oh, we can even do just the link. That's like, that would be a unique, oh yeah, duplicated. And then we'll df 2022 and we'll locate these. $6,300. Isn't that what we saw before? Zero if we do it this way. Okay. I think this is still fine. Why don't we just pull in all the years too? There's no reason to... what we got to do is pull in all the years and then get the player's name though. Get the players that we are considering as like the main player that we're analyzing in the game as we loop through. So we can do that pretty easily. So we're going to do 4P in parquets, and we're going to make this a star and everything. Then we'll do read parquet. We did this yesterday. All right, so df temp, and then we'll do assign. Oh, then we need to split this. That's right. We need to split the actual parquet file name and get just the username. So let's do split on this backslash, and then we'll take the end of that, which will be just the file name, and then we'll split on an underscore. And we'll just take the first value, which will be the username. And then we'll assign to this something called like main player. And that's going to be this. And then we'll append df with df temp. This should run pretty quick. We'll concatenate. We'll drop duplicates. And let's just call this df. It doesn't need to be 2022 anymore. This is just everything. Guys, we're going to do it. Maybe a main player column to check which player file it came from. Yes, yes. You got me. Chat has got my back. Yeah. So, all right. Now we got it. Let's do an info on this just to see how big this file is. I don't know why I didn't combine it initially. Maybe it's because I thought that they were big enough they need to be split up into years. Now I do also have in these folders, in this folder, subfolders for each player that actually has their PGN file. So if we like Vim, let's open a new tab. Go into chess cheating analysis. We're going to go into data. Like if I do Hikaru here, I can see all his PGN games. And we could look at like, oh yeah, it's by month. It's split up by month. And that's the way that chess.com, I guess, archives them and gave them to us. Now, the other interesting thing is we do have the clock time. It would be really cool to try to split and parse out the clocks to get some sort of, because I don't think anyone that I know have, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if anyone has done an analysis where they actually look at the details of how long does a player typically take to make their moves. I have not seen that. Hey, Gopher. Welcome to the chat. So we got this. We got this. Oh, and the size of this is 107 megabytes. Tiny. Tiny. Still over almost 500,000 games, but tiny in terms of actual file size. Now let's go ahead and how can we find, okay, so now that we have main player, why isn't main player there? Oh, geez, I did this wrong. I need to concatenate these temp files. All right, so I'm rerunning it again. I accidentally kept my old code that, yeah, did it incorrectly. Let's also load this extension. Oh, sorry, you were trying to tell me that in chat. Thank you for having my back. All right, so now now we do have a main player. Let's group by the main players. And I think there's like a player ELO. Yeah, player ELO, which is like the main player that we care about. Let's find their max value. Let's sort by values. And let's plot a beautiful bar plot. Kind equals bar. Hey, by the way, I want to mention this. 2 streams ago, we did make a visualization using flight data, cancellation data. And guess what? I posted on Data is Beautiful, and it got to the very top of Data is Beautiful, the subreddit. So we are famous from that. Then I posted responses on it too much that I think I got it blocked out. So then I took it down and reposted it, and it didn't get as popular. But the first time, like 7,000 uptokes. Clout chasing. Yeah, I can't help it, man. It's my Achilles heel. All right, so these are the your top 50 ratings of all time in Blitz. Let's make a better style sheet. Ooh. We can use one of these new style sheets that I was trying to use the other day, but we didn't have installed. Seaborn V _8 dark. If I just use Seaborn dark, at least this looks a little better. We'll do a width of 1. Definitely make this not as high, and maybe only show the top 15. This needs to be a tail. Edge color. Top 15 chess.com blitz rankings. Ratings. Still a little bit large on the... All right. Should we add the values to this? I feel like adding the values to this will make it look nice. So the way that we do that is using this built-in method that they've added. Let's see if this just works out of the box. Yeah, so now we have the values. We'll do padding of like -10. Oh, -10. -50. And font size of maybe 12. Let's also set this title. Gotta make the font size of the title bigger. There we go. Maybe make this 45 and color is white. Now, should we do something a little sneaky here? We need to set that Y label as the player, something, instead of saying main player. And then we need to set the X label as top ELO. Top Blitz ELO. And should we, maybe a bold text for, okay. I could do format bold. Nope, that just makes it say bold. Font. Deja Vu Sans bold, maybe? I don't know how to do a bold. Let's look it up. Matplotlib, make font bold. Oh, weight equals bold. There we go. Does that look better? Bold? Font weight? Oh, there's font weight. There's a lot of synonyms for different variables in Matplotlib and other libraries like this. So, what extension do I use to format? Look up NB_black. That's what I use. That's this load extension lab black. All right. So the funny thing we can do, set X limit to maybe be like 3,000. 230, 600. Now it looks a lot more drastic. This is what they teach you in How to Lie with Statistics. I mean, sometimes I think it's like makes sense because the absolute numbers of their top ratings here, like you can't really compare them that well. It's just, we're not lying here per se. We're just kind of exaggerating the fact that this is the very top. But I'm actually very surprised that there's a huge drop off. And then also keep in mind, like some of these players are really good. They just don't play on chess.com a lot. So maybe they haven't loaded to that point. How to Lie with Statistics is actually a really good book. Bar plots should start at 0. True. So do you think that this is incorrect to have it like this? It's still a comparison. What if we said, the title was Blitz ratings minus 3,000 for the top. Second version will get more upvotes. I actually don't think this is as deceiving as some plots are. Hey, thank you for the subscription. Clipped 7 months. 7 months in the house. It does exaggerate the difference, but we're not playing another base lick. I'm sorry. Please land on Kevin. If it lands on base lick again, then I'll do it. 10 push-ups. There we go. Yeah, I think so. Where I feel like the changing the axis is really kind of sketchy is when you see plots that are like comparing how things have changed over time. Like, look at the stock market is just falling. And then you actually zoom out and you're like, what? Actually, it's just random noise at the top, or it's like not really that big. How many hours do I study per week? I'm done studying. I'm not doing school. I just learn constantly through working and doing streams. So yeah, top 15 ratings. Now let's look. Let's also get a dictionary of these as the top players. So we'll do this group by max. To dict. We'll say this is top ratings. So this way we could pull maybe as a data frame is better, and then sort values by top rating. Yeah, there we go. Default will make it so that we see so then we can kind of focus in on these top guys. Look at top 5 as if they were stocks. Oh, another thing we could look at is like how much does each player actually play on chess.com? Like, does playing relate to scores? So we could do just like a main player value counts. Yeah, so we can see that there's definitely a big difference between those players that play a lot and those players that don't. And maybe we want to focus only on the ones that are also play a lot. Look at this. We're going to do something really cool. We're going to map this we should also reset this index. And then this will work. So now we have like a summary data frame called top ratings that has their top rating and the number of games they played. Magnus Carlsen, under 1,000 games, yet is still in the top 5 all time. Very powerful. What's the end game? You get all this data and then what? We're learning and we're having fun, Crip. This is just laid back. I mean, I'm not doing this for the paycheck. Also, exclamation point, YouTube, those things work on Twitch. If you're not on Twitch, you should jump over there. I encourage you to. But it would just bring you back to my YouTube, which you're already at. So it's like circular loop, infinite loop, people. If we plot this like with a X is top rating and Y equals games played, will this look interesting? Kind is scatter. I don't think this is interesting. What do you guys think? Let's make it an even thing, and let's also make this size or marker size like 20 or something big. Oh, is it just? Got to make it something actually big. There. Not that interesting. It's just, I mean, the main interesting thing is there are two guys that stand out, and they're both Twitch streamers, Hikaru and Daniel Narodisky. Those are these guys. And then I guess it's basically what we saw just by looking at it. So looking at it before. What data are we exploring? So we have all the top 50 chess players past games. So let's look at the top 5 with over what's this called? Top ratings. With at least 10,000 games. So let's not look at the guys who haven't played a lot. So let's query where games played is over 10,000. We can reset this index. And we're gonna call this I don't know, top 10K. This is our cohort of people that we'll look at that actually play a ton of games online. And then we'll look at them like they're the stock market. So we did this before. Plotly. Candlestick. Yeah, we did this before. And we're going to iterate four player in the top players, and then we'll do something for each player. So for each player, we will take this data frame and we'll query where the main player is this player. That's just their games. And then we're going to actually set the index to be this time when the game is played. UTC date time, I think. It's always nice to have a date time index. And then we're going to look at their player ELO. So this is basically our like temp player data. Oh yeah, and then we did this before, so we could also look at like their closing and opening for the day. Yeah, so let's do this. We'll group by UTC date. The only time this kind of gets a little bit weird is when they like will play over midnight in the UTC time zone. So the reason why this works for stock market is because you have the open and the close, and then there's no trading off hours. But these players can be playing at any point of the day. I'm learning to print my name on something called Python. Any advices? Print Farouk Go. Just write this, and you've done it. Go into your terminal and type Python. If that loads into Python, that means you have Python, and then you can just do Python and then write. Yeah, Python, and then print it in there. There, you did it. You did it in Python. Good job. Okay, so we still need to sort by the sort values by this UTC datetime, or it won't work. So that's like our open and close. Oh, we also want high and low, which would be max and min. So we're aggregating by the UTC date for this player, their first, last, that's an open and close. First is open. Last is close. Max is high, and min is going to be low. Our goal here is to get Hikaru to watch this, because Hikaru is one of the top, or is the top chess player, and he likes the stock market. So we want him to look at this and see what his candlestick looks like. All right, so we're going to take this player data frame, do the open, high, close, and see what this looks like. Player DF, the index is our date. Why is it saying that we don't have a, oh, this needs to be uppercase open? Boom. Okay, I realize there's something we need to do here still. There's something on my lip. Uh-oh. People are saying I said something weird. Oh, I'm sorry if I did that. There is something on my lip. I got it. Okay, good. I don't want that to have been there all night. All right, so one thing I'm realizing that I didn't account for. All right. Filter games by type, by rating group. All right, so if we just took our data frame and we query where the main player equals Hikaru. Yeah, this is fine. We set index to date time UTC date time. And we plot this, we see that there's like a bunch of up and downs here. This is kind of weird. Let's also make this just like a dots for each. The reason why it looks like this is because there's some strange or they're different rating groups, right? So on chess.com, if I go to chess.com, Hikaru, where is his stats? View full stats. All right, so he has a blitz rating, a bullet rating, a rapid rating, and then a daily rating, which I don't think these guys really play that many daily. Oh, like he's played 0 daily games. So the way we need to find that is by, and then there's also these weird other like variants, that is. Is it actually the text none? All right, so let's make sure we filter out where the variant is none. This might clean it up a little bit. All right, but still a lot of other stuff there. There is also a time control. All right, so there's a lot of them, 107. What is this? 1/29? I have no idea what that is. We need to look that up. I've never heard of that before. We can actually look up this game really quickly, or these games. So there's games with a 1/259/200. Which notebook are you using? One is different from Jupyter. This is Jupyter. You can actually look on my YouTube channel. I have a whole tutorial on how I set this up on Jupyter and all that stuff. It's a great one. So let's look at this game link and try to figure out what's going on. 24th chess tournament. Oh, so this was 3 days. Each game was 3 days. I'm guessing all of these. If you divide it by 60 and then we divide it by 24, so this 120 days. Oh, maybe divide by 60 again because it's by seconds. Seconds, minutes. Yeah, so this is a 3-dayer. That makes sense. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to map these. For time control, for TC in this, TC split, TC equals TC split on this plus. So the plus means that you're playing at a certain time control, but you have an increment. Like every time you make a move, you get 2 seconds in 180 plus 2. And then we'll just take the 0 index. This will be the integer version of it. All right, so it won't work for that. We'll also split on the backslash and take the -1 of that. All right, so now we have all these TC ints. All right, now we now need to figure out the thresholds. I think if TC int is less than or equal to 60, we're making a mapping here now, right? Then the TC map for this time control should be bullet. Now let's look at TC map. So yeah, these are all the bullet time controls. Why do you play a 43-second game is beyond me. Again, I'm just going to have to look up some of these just because I don't believe it. Oh yeah, this is a string. All right, these guys, we're just going back and forth playing 43-second long games. Yeah, there you go. Look at the start of this. It doesn't have the time. Oh, yeah, here we go. 43 seconds each side. Very funny. Does he have an edu page for data science? Mine? There's 120-day games. I'm not surprised. Those games are like you'll die before they're over. If you want to just die instead of losing, that's like the ultimate win. If you play a 120-day long game, I guess like you wouldn't have made a game or move in 120 days, so then they would win. But then you go on vacation on chess.com. What's the bev? What's the bev? What does that mean? Isn't the data only blitz? No. So we pulled in the list of players based on their blitz rating. So that's a good point. This plot up here is not correct yet. This plot up here is incorrect because it includes all their ratings. So we're going to fix this. This is actually going to go in our analysis above everything else to make sure that we then make our blitz correctly. So let's load in data is the first thing we're doing. Classify by time controls. And then below that is EDA of top ratings. And now we'll be able to do one for the other time controls. So I think 5-minute games are just because we're lazy. Let's do this. We'll name it Blitz first, and then we'll rewrite it with bullet if it's a less than. So 60 times 3. I think 3 minutes. There's 5-minute splits. And then I think, like, let's just say 120 is rapid. And then we'll initially set it to be daily. I don't know if this is going to work. Oh, TC map. There we go. I think this is right. No, so I didn't set them all as daily. I was being lazy and I said set them all as daily. But if it's less than this, set it as rapid. And then, so if it's something's rated bullet, this is like the not efficient way to write this code, but lazy way. But it basically had written over this 4 times by the time it got down to bullet. So let's see if we take this time control and we map this TC map. Rating group, maybe. And then let's do this plot down here where we group by rating group. We have to do the group by after our queries and setting our index. We're just grouping by for the plot to make sure the colors are different. And look, they are. I think we got it. No, wait, we didn't get right. I think some of these up here don't make sense. So let's do a legend. So blue is blitz. Orange is bullet here. Green is daily. But I thought we saw Hikaru doesn't play daily. Maybe not rated daily. And then rapid should be these. Why do we have these blue dots that are down here? So let's query where our rating group equals rapid and our player ELO is greater than 3000 because it doesn't look like that should be the case. This was a rapid game. It was 6 minute or a 10-minute game. Instead of that, let's look at where it says it's blitz. And less than 2,500. Chess openings? What is this variant? What game is this going on? Oh. It must be something weird where he's playing a not rated game. Is there any way to see if it's rated? Yeah, he's playing with viewers, and also we don't know if some of these are just like friendly games anyways. I'm thinking of one way to do it is if player ELO, if their ELO didn't change after this, but that's going to be kind of hard to do. So let's just forget about that. But one thing we do know is that this data frame now should be query is just blitz. Oops. All right. So actually this switches up the ordering. So what I had before was not legitimate. Throw it out. This is the blitz ratings. And let's put these all side by side. So we can do blitz ratings. So let's do for I group in bullet, blitz, and rapid. And let's enumerate this. See if this works. Group is what we're going to want to do. And then here we're going to want to do making this a F string doesn't make sense, but I might want to add more text to it later. And this will be I. There we go. We need to make it wider and remove this fig size here. All right, so then we also need to change this range. We're going to make this into something separate where we do dtemp. Dtemp, we're going to plot. Stick with me here. All right, so now we have all the players, but we don't have a good range for them. So for each dtemp, we need the min. Dtemp min. And we can just plot this limits by the min and the max, and then we can add some padding. See there, now it's just the min, and let's do minus some padding and plus some padding. And we'll set padding to be Paddington Bear. We'll set padding to be 100. Let's make it. Let's make a left and right pad. Our left pad can be 500. And our right pad can be 100. Boom. Let's also get a color palette. So we're going to import Seaboard. There we go. Now our palette. Oof. I feel like my nose is dripping. All right, so now we take our palette. And what do we do here? We're going to color this with our palette of eye, just to give it a little bit of diversity in the coloring groups. And then we're going to do fig, subplot, subtitle, look how small that is. Font size is 24. I don't know. Something bigger. There we go. So Hikaru's the top of all of these? Yes, we do have the tight layout here. Not perfect, but it's kind of cool. Maybe make this less wide. What do you guys think? Like this or like maybe something taller? Oh, change X label. You're right. So this is going to be our group. This is actually where we needed the F string. So top bullet, yellow, blitz, rapid. Now we're still not sure this is perfect. Because there could be those weird variants where their rating is high, but let's just assume their highest rating is going to be from a rated game. Or from not a weird variant. I think I queried out the variants. Let's make sure by removing the variants. Okay, I don't know if it changed. Karu's still at the top of everything. All right, let's look at the bullet. Let's do this with the bullet now. Because bullet is like a game of extremes. They're really fast games. So we're going to put all this together. Make our player data frame. We make sure our variance is none. And make sure our rating group equals bullet. All right, what's it complaining about? I don't think we even need that anymore, right? There's no height. So can I do fig size on this? Let's see what this candlestick one looks like. It's got a little bit more space with it. Okay, so we should be able to do something like this and change what the figure looks like. Oh, look, it's blue in the background. Beautiful. I still think we have some anomalies here. 2437. Let's see what's going on there. Where the player ELO equals 2437. Oh, okay. So this is the one where it's like high and low. All right, so this first one's in 2014. It probably was a legit rating, which is kind of crazy that maybe it's not legit. I don't know what was going on here. But this one is definitely not legit, and that's this one that was in 2020. It is not too legit to quit. It's 3-check. It's a 3-check game. TLTL. So do you guys know how 3-check works? I haven't looked at chat in a while. 2437 is a string. It should be an integer. Okay, so fig update layout height. I think that's what we did here. Yeah. What data set are you studying? I guess it's chess. Yeah, it's chess. Is this Python? Yes, it is Python. Check if there's ELO change after every game he plays. Yeah, so then I would have to find the next one. Yeah, so 3-check is a variant where all you have to do is check your opponent 3 times and you win. But it should list that in the variant column, which it did. Oh wait, why did I do variant not equals none? That would explain a lot. All right, so I want variant is NA. So this was basically keeping all the variants. I want it to be not NA. Let's see if this fixes some of it. What? Oh, no. I want it to be NA. Yes, this looks a lot more normal. Let's zoom in here. If you were going to buy Hikaru stock, when would you buy it? Look, he has... Look at his trends. It's interesting how he has these moments of just going up, and up, and then kind of takes a dive. I've experienced this in my chess career. Self-join and shift. So yeah, now we can actually explore his some details about him. Let's also try to add this height thing that you suggested as like 200. It's gonna be really short. 10K. Let's forget about this first one where he like just opened his account. And let's also figure out what's going on here. Player ELO has to be at least 2,800 for us to care about it. There we go. The height is way too crazy. What am I doing here? 500. Okay, now we can kind of do it. Can we do a title in here? I don't know why it cuts off the title. Oh, it's probably because of this margin thing. I do like having the margins smaller though. This is Hikaru bullet stock. When would you buy? What happened here? How did he make this jump? Cheating. I think we found some proof of cheating. No, just kidding. All right, we got to get Hikaru to comment on this, make him watch this in his stream, and we'll tell him, "Hey, would you have bought here and sold here? Because if so, you were smart." Maybe he's gaming the system. But has he also been going down in bullet ratings? All right, so now we're going to loop this over every player, basically, and see if this works. We'll just do the top 5 to see it first. So here's Hikaru bullet stock. Here's Daniel Nordiski. Whoa, look how different they look. How does Hikaru have these long streaks of just day after day going up? And Daniel's just all over the place. He plays a lot of bullet though. Nihal. All right, so those went up. Those are interesting. Oh man, this looks like it was not, Brandon was not having a good day when he made this fall. Was this a month? 2021, March to April was just like downhill. He went all the way from almost 3,300 to a rating that I would die to have. Massive hit. All right, so we're buying and we're selling stocks. Let's do the same thing for bullet. Blitz. Will I upload this notebook somewhere? Yeah, I'll try to get it up on Kaggle. By the way, we're using this data set that I've made public. It's all the chess.com top 50 blitz players, all of their chess.com games in one archive. So upvote this if you like it. And I'll try to make a notebook with this in it so you can check it out later. We still need to figure out what these big jumps are. I must have mislabeled some of these. They could be other variants that I'm not accounting for, potentially. When they reach a new elo height, don't they play harder opponents more frequently? Yeah. So usually there's like a band of, they just go to random games, if they're not challenging someone specifically, then you're going to only be paired against someone plus or minus certain rating that you're in. Val Boolin. I'm doing some Google Translate on what you're saying. And it doesn't make any sense, what you said when I converted it. So that might just be lost in translation sort of thing. Look at Nilharin. He's just going up. Can someone explain to me? All right, Hikaru has to explain this on his stream. Either I did something totally wrong in my data analysis, or he needs to explain himself. Why does he have these big ups and downs when all the other players are kind of like jumping up and... you know what this could be is the Y scale. No, it's fairly Daniel and him have fairly similar scales. Maybe he just doesn't play Bullet that much. Daniel also plays these crazy like 30-second games, and that's maybe why he has so many more ups and downs. Yeah, that's probably it. You know, that's it. Because if he's playing like 400 games in a day, the variance, the high and low that he has the opportunity to reach are going to be much wider than someone just playing a few games a day. So I think that's what we're seeing. Still kind of a interesting trend. And I think as of today, what do we do? Are we going to buy or are we going to sell Hikaru's stock? Bullet is definitely more unstable. But yeah, it's more unstable. Hikaru too volatile? Okay, you guys don't want to spend any money on it. All right, so I think that's it for this stream. Like I said, it was going to be kind of short. I mean, the only other thing is... One thing I might want to look at before we end here. This is just an idea I had. Can we find openings? All right, here's a your boss comes at you and you work at Chess Inc. You work for chess.com and your boss comes to you and he or she says, or they says, hey, I need you to find what the top chess players, some of the hidden gems. What are some of the hidden gems in terms of chess openings that people are winning with a lot that no one knows about? Oh, Mr. Gabriel had a question too. Sell is a downtrend booligan. My problem's PP Orov. What is that? Okay, what's your question, Mr. Gabriel? Gabriel? Oh, you had the same question as me. Okay, I thought you were saying you had another question. When's the next stream and what is the time? So usually it's Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, 9:30 Eastern-ish. But sometimes I can't stream for one reason or another, and then there just is no stream. So you kind of just have to catch me when I'm on. That's why you make sure that you like this video, comment in it, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch, do all that monster stuff, do all that awesome stuff. Look, we got 2,725 followers on Twitch. Let's get that to 5K. Tell all your friends. But yeah, those are the nights that I usually stream. And maybe sometimes I'll stream randomly. Like I've done Saturday mornings randomly. All Eastern time zone. All right, so the way we're going to do this is ECO. Should we do ECO? Okay, so ECO is like the... ECO is the opening database, and then ECO URL. Okay, so the ECO is going to be like a more specific of an opening, more in-depth. ECO URL is going to have the more generalized opening. Should we go specific? So let's group by ECO. Let's talk about, Rob, let's talk about the stock market video stock analysis. Yeah, you need to explain that to me. So what do we consider to be like a winning opening? I guess we want to see when white... We need to see when white wins. So that would be when the result equals 1-0. These are white wins. And what do we call it? Time grouping equal blitz. Rating group is blitz. Oh, and variant is NA. We basically should drop all the variants at the very beginning of this analysis because we probably aren't ever going to look into those. All right, so there we go. Now we have all of the blitz games where white pieces won. But that's not what we want. That's not what we want. We want to group by the ECO, and then we want to do the result value counts and unstack this baby, this puppy. Fill NA as 0, as type int. And let's call this blitz openings. Granted, these are like top player blitz openings, but blitz openings nonetheless. I think to attract new subscribers is a very interesting topic. Analysis stocks and Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Yeah, totally. We've done that on stream before, and maybe that's a great idea for maybe next week's stream to actually do some analytics data in stocks and stuff. I do have some videos on that. Like if you want to look up my time series forecasting, and I also have some videos on like working with economic data where you can pull up specific stock prices from Fred. Okay, so what is ECO? So yeah, great suggestion, Alps. I'll consider it for future streams. One thing I will say, though, is check out my other videos on the topics, because I have a few of them. Jupiter-style question. How often do you see docstrings and or out of object-oriented programming used in notebooks? It depends on what you're doing in the notebook, but most of the time you don't see it because people are defining those outside in scripts and then they're importing it. All right, so we can find the uncommon. That's a good point. We can't find the uncommon point part here, you say? But we can. So what we want to do is sum axis equals 1. Oh, and someone was asking what ECO is. ECO is the name, like the name of the opening. There's codes for certain types of openings. So we do A00. Oh, shoot. Chest opening. This is just called an uncommon opening, but this is a... Not sure what the move is. Yeah. Yeah, so sum of 1 will give us times played and let's look at the times played plot kind equals hist bins. Let's make a bunch of bins but it's going to be like really skewed. Yeah, okay, so I guess I could have also done like a bar plot. But what I'm expecting this to show is, yeah, there are all these super uncommon openings down here at the bottom, and then the stuff that everyone plays. So what we want something is like in the sweet spot. In the sweet spot of, if it's never played, then the odds of it being like considered like a winning, commonly won opening could just be random chance. But if we pick a minimum threshold, so this is white win percent. Can we find any outliers here? Maybe not. And maybe making this as a plotly plot would be better. Plotly scatter plot, because then we can do like hovers. Do I do data here? Oh, plotly express. Oh, it takes this data frame. There we go. Now we can hover and show hover data is ECO, which actually might be index. Let's reset this index. Now what we can see, predict win over wins plays, or have you got that backwards? What did I do? This is the number of times white wins over the number of times that opening was played. And let's do this opening query. Let me know if that's wrong or if I'm missing something. Let's only look when the times played is greater than 1,000. All right, 1,000 might be too much. 500. All right, this is our key opening, C28. Hey! What do we got here? Well, 5 months here. I learned more about how to do data science now. Nice. Super LOL. Thank you so much for subscribing on Twitch. I really appreciate that. Hope everyone's doing run. J Apple J is rating with a party of 1. J Apple J, thank you for doing that. Hey, look. Kevin! All right. I did that for you, Super LOL. Don't ask me why I yelled the name Kevin. I just do. Yeah, so this is our Plotly. PX does stand for Plotly Express. All right, so what we want is this opening. This is when white wins most often. C28. What's chess opening C28? The Vienna game. But not only the Vienna, but the Vienna that goes to this position. So the Vienna is E4, knight out. When I saw Harmon here, I thought it was a Beth Harmon game. So this opening was pretty popular a while ago, and then kind of went out of favor. So in the 1970s and 80s, it was popular. So what does it go like? Oh wait, knight out next. Then develop the bishop. Then here. So this is like the winner for white apparently in these games, in very fast games. Let's see if we can filter this down to my games. Hey, I played this 37 times and I've won 54% of them. So that proves that this is a good opening for me. Maybe I need to play it more. But how often did they actually bring their knight out? Can't force that. All right, we found it. We found it. This is the key one, though. Over 60% of the time. And let's see who plays that a lot. Let's see which player actually plays this a lot. C28. And then we'll find the white player because this is a position that white usually wins. We'll do a value counts. What do you know? Hikaru's played it the most. Yeah, Hikaru play. Well, he also plays the most. Actually, Daniel plays more than him. So the fact that Hikaru plays this a lot means that Hikaru knows what he's doing. We need to steal this. Kind equals KDE would be better for this. If Hikaru plays C28 by the stock. Could we do win percent for this opening? So basically do a group by white and then result value counts. I'm just wrapping this up, guys. Don't worry. I think I want to do normalize. I want to do this. Doing this really lazily. So this will give us the sum that we can then add to this one. What is going on here? Why are these all zeros? They should be values though. All right, whatever. Getting really nasty here. And that's not going to work. Let's go back. Go back. All right. So at least we have this. The number of times they played it and then the times that they won, lost, and draw. I wanted to get this as a percentage, but it doesn't really matter when these numbers are so small for these players. The query is wrong. Times played. Please, can you do object-oriented programming for data analysis? Why does it have to be object-oriented? Everything in Python's an object. Everything inherits from an object. So this data frame that I'm working in is a Python object, right? Okay, people. We did some stuff. What we learned today, we learned... CarlWinsChess.com. He's the top of all the things. Best blitz opening for white is the Vienna. All right. So honestly, though, we have to keep in mind that we don't have like an unbiased sample data set here. And it may be that Hikaru wins games because he's good. And he also happens to play this opening. So disclaimer out there. It could be a Hikaru bias. It looks like it may be a Hikaru bias. But if you're just looking at these dots, you want to find something that's uncommonly played and has a high win percentage as white. C28 opening is the one to do. That's what we learned today. We learned so much. Thank you guys for hanging out. I think that's the one with... Can I take a look at the worst opening? You keep on dragging me back in. 0.35. B06. Oh, that's a good call. Oh, so this is like, I guess, a dubious way of them winning. I don't know also how they divide up these opening names. Like probably what this means is if it's this early on that the coding is, then the next move was not a mainline move. So it was some like surprising opening that black did. And it probably encapsulates all of those. But I probably need to know more about chess before I talk about that. All right, I swear I won't do more chess streams. I know people don't like it, but I have fun doing it. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. I had a lot of fun. And it's always fun to just hang out with people and do stuff live. So any questions? You play which opening a lot? The one that loses? Oh, geez. Stop playing it. Let's do a raid on Twitch. And thanks everyone for hanging out. If you want to support me, there are a few things that you could do that I'd really appreciate. Number one, you can like my videos, this stream video on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitch. You can also share it and comment on the videos. That helps a lot. Just all the positive vibes, keep it going. Exclamation point Discord will give you the link to our Discord. Come on. Hey, Crimson Tide, thanks for subscribing. So hopefully you guys see this chat message. I'm going to chat it. Exclamation point Kaggle. I'm going to do one last spinning of the wheel. Thank you for the sub. This is my Kaggle profile. We sometimes launch competitions on there. And what else am I missing? Oh, yeah. If you're not following me on YouTube already, check that out. I'm going to put the link here. I also have the new URL. If you go to www.youtube.com/Rob Mulla, @Rob Mulla, I think that takes you to mine because I snagged that. Oh, wait, it doesn't work. So, I did YachtTube. Do not click that link. Click this one. There you go. That's the legit one. All right, let's find someone to raid. Let's raid the guy whose data we were just looking at. So Daniel Nordagitsky, we looked at his data, and we'll raid his channel. He is a Grandmaster streaming chess, and I guess he just started streaming. Right now, like it says starting soon if you go on his page, so maybe he's not a good one to raid. All right, let's raid instead Chrissy Codes. Let's go. The true Rob Mulla, that's true. All right. Preparing for launch. And away we go. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you hanging out. See you next stream. Maybe Sunday, maybe Tuesday, maybe Thursday. Oh, I need to spin the wheel. I'm going to spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. I got to keep to my word. Do what it does. Do the floss. Here we go. It's a dad floss. I'm so not cool. Okay. Rating. Here we go. Bye, YouTube. Have a good night.